astounded. Can illegal immigrants in New York vote?
In New York City, I believe they passed a law. Luckily, we don't have that law in Nassau County, but in the city council and mayoral races, I believe illegal aliens recently have been given the right to vote.
Let me follow up with that. So if you are of the persuasion we need more of them, and they're aligned with your politics, let's say on the Democrat side, is it to your benefit if you live in those areas where illegals are casting their vote for you politically? Is it to your benefit to have these ideologies of just allow more to come in regardless of the cost?
Well, absolutely not. And I think it's always to the benefit of Americans and to America, whether it's a local race, a state race, or a federal race, that you be a United States citizen.
Yeah. You
actually be a citizen and you take the oath that you pledge to defend and support the Constitution of the United States.
But do you see that there are some, we'll say, Democrats that would want this type policy because it helps them stay in office because they have illegals that vote for them?
It definitely changes the voting pool in favor of those who would let anybody in.
Let's talk about the money that is being spent. I think that there needs to be a federal audit against the company that we have contracted out to take care of the migrants. We have nurses that are being paid $64,000 a month. We have security officers that are being paid as much as $24,000 a month. We have home health care workers that are being paid up to $17,000 a month. You don't think that Chicagoans could have benefited from that? We have citizens in this city that have been on the waiting list for affordable housing for years, and migrants have been bumped in front of them. We have people who have been given up to $9,000 a month for housing assistance. That amount of money can be life-changing for some families here in the city of Chicago. We are not anti-migrant. We do sympathize with them. But what I am pro-black. I am for my people who have been mistreated, who have been marginalized, who have been disrespected. And it is disrespectful for people to expect us to give up our parks and our schools and places in our community for others. We're not saying that there's not room here, but what we are saying is that we are not going to step aside for you to accommodate them when you have continued to leave us out of the equation. So I'm not just talking to Brandon Johnson right now. I'm talking to Governor Pritzker, and I'm talking to President Biden. And I want you to understand that as we run into this upcoming political year, where the Democratic Party is on the menu, hear me. People of Chicago, of Illinois, and of the United States, it is time for us as black people to stop voting party. It is time for us to stop voting color. It is time for us to start voting our self-interest. And if the Democrats in the city of Chicago, the state of Illinois, and the country of USA refuses to listen to us, then it is time for us to start looking at other alternatives. People, we are looking at other alternatives. We will not step aside and continue to be mistreated. We will not continue to be disrespected. I'm looking at people who are coming here from another country, given work visas, given Social Security cards. Nobody is asking them what walk of life that they come from. You don't think that our brothers who have been in prison, who have come out and who have changed their lives will benefit for the same opportunities that we're giving these migrants? And I'm not saying that they don't deserve those opportunities, but what I am saying is we deserve them first. What I am saying is you can't continue to put us on the back burner and think that we're going to continue to be okay with it. We've done that for long enough. And what we're saying here today is that it's no longer acceptable. We're saying to our city, we're saying to our governor that you're not going to continue to set monies aside for people who don't live here and disrespect, mistreat, and forget about us. You've forgotten about us. You have treated us as if we don't matter. And we're saying to you, you're not going to continue to do this. We're saying to you to see us. You're dumping people into our communities who are going to at some point move us out of the way. And what I say to you, if you want a glimpse into what's going to happen, look at how people of color are being treated in Venezuela right now. We seem to forget that Venezuela was one of the first places that had African slaves that they were taken to. We're forgetting about that. And so we're forgetting that there are blacks in Venezuela who are being treated the same way we are. And so for us to expect that they're going to come here and be put into our society and treat us differently is a pipe dream.
Tick faster, that'll be the hour they knock the slick blaster. Dick dastardly, a Muttley with sick laughter. A gunfight and they come to cut the mix master. And living the true gods, giving y'all nothing but the lick like two broads. Got more lyrics than the church got ooh lords. And they hold the mic at your attention like two swords. Or you the one with two blades on it. Hey you, don't touch the mic like it's AIDS on it.
All right. Alrighty. We are here. Welcome once again to the Beatzilla PDX official show. I am your host, Beatzilla PDX officially, and this is the weekly wrap up. Hopefully everybody is doing well. It has been a minute since we've been on camera, actually, because the last two broadcasts, of course, there was no wrap up last week because I was out of town. And I was with, celebrating the life of my grandmother and also celebrating time with family. So one of the things that actually happened was something that I was already somewhat aware of course, but, got a chance to kind of get more information. And because, like I said, this is a historical situation with my distant relative. Well, not so distant, actually. He's the great, there's great grandbrothers or grandfathers. And so there's brothers with branches, and that's how we are so deep. So, they actually have recognized him as the first Black American, or as they say, African American born in the state of Colorado. And they have now named a park after him. And one of the things that's interesting about this situation is that, we talk a lot about lineage and lineage-based things out here. And just being able to be somewhere that actually, we have family historians. And so just understanding, you should not have to go too far to find out, from what plantation you came from, because that is not really that hard to find out. Because, slavery was in the dissolved in the mid 1800s. We ain't that far removed. People like to act like we are, but we are not that far removed. So first off, let me wish everyone a happy Foundational Black American History Month. And so this is where we are going today. With that being said, family, as you are coming in, please hit that like button, share this broadcast if you will. Text it to a friend, email it to a family member that might be on the cusp of still believing that they can trust the Democrats or the Republicans or any politician other than their own interests first. Send them this way. With that being said, also, You can subscribe if you have not done so. You can hit that notification bell, hit the word all, that way you'll be notified anytime this channel goes live or a video is uploaded or premieres. Also, you can become a member, and that's another way to help this channel and support. So it's always appreciated. And, we have some members only stuff in there. Actually, I'm going to be putting some stuff in there soon from my trip. As soon as I can edit it up. But nonetheless, you can become a member, and shout out to all of my members. Salute to you. Thank you for what you do for this particular platform. I appreciate it. With that being said, we're going to do what we do here. If you didn't know, we tend to, we start the broadcast off with greeting the family. This is kind of became a new thing, and it sticks. And first off, I see a super sticker from our good brother, dark skinned brother. Salute to you, my brother. I appreciate that. What does that say? Oh, yes, indeed. Salute to you, my brother. All right, so let's see who else we have in the house this evening. Let me get up here. All right, so the early bird who gets the worm and gets the shout out is Judah Queen in the building. Black First Fam. Always a pleasure to have our good sister Judah Queen in the building. If y'all don't know, she has been with this channel since pretty much day one. So shout out to our good sister Judah Queen. Like and share this broadcast. Thank you, thank you, thank you. David Boyd in the house. Salute to you, David Boyd. Thank you for being here, my good brother. I appreciate it. Yes, indeed. New York in the house. Bronx. Yes, indeed. So salute to the Bronx in the house this evening. Yes, indeed. Oh, yeah, let's Cadence in the building. Salute to you, my good sister. Thank you for being in the building. Also, you've been down with this channel for a while. So salute to you. We are now officially international. Black First, my good sister. RBJ in the house. Black First from South Carolina. It's always good to see my good brother in the house. Thank you for being here, sir. Yes, indeed. What was that? Chi Banana in the building. Chi Banana in the building. I appreciate you once again. Oh, Dallas. Dallas representing. Boy, that Dallas name and that Dallas word is coming up quite often here these days. Interesting. Well, salute to Dallas. And, I got some folks down there in around that area as well, I believe. And, Dallas ain't too far from Denver or Oklahoma. Like, I can see why everybody wants to build a hub there. Because y'all are like a central point, but it makes sense. And plus, a lot more beef brisket. So salute to Dallas, man. Thank you for being here. Miriam R in the house. Salute, Sister Miriam. Good to see you as always. Black First, and that is East St. Louis, Illinois. Hopefully, I got that right. East Illinois, I know that. Yes, our sister from East Illinois. I believe is that St. Louis, East Illinois, because there's two St. Louis's, right? Ain't that how that work? And we have our good sister Tia to you. Yes, indeed. I believe this is another good sister from the Midwest in the building. I believe you are hailing out of Motown, ain't you? Yeah, so salute to y'all, man. Got the Midwest riders in the house. Salute to both y'all. Black First. Always a pleasure to have y'all in the building. Key Prince in the building. Thank you for being here, Key Prince. Always a good thing to see you. Peace, Beatzilla, and family in the chat. Thank you so much. And, of course, we got Nightbot in the building. Got to give Nightbot some love because Nightbot is on the job. I appreciate it. All right. We got Lady Effa in the house. I see you. Lady Effa in the house. Good to see you and have you here this Friday Eve. I appreciate it. Y'all could be doing anything. but you are taking some time to be here with me. Black women stand up. Peace and Black First family. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here this Friday evening. And we have Brother Derek Parker in the building. Salute to you, my good brother. And thank you for being here. Black First. All right. We got our good sister Rhonda Smith in the house. Hey, hey. Salute to you, Rhonda Smith, Black First. And happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Black History Month. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And that's another thing too, just being able to go out there to Denver, and I'm trying to get all of the information I can, and especially while we have these family historians alive. And I would encourage a lot of y'all, if you have access to living family members, I would strongly advise y'all to tap into that. You know what I'm saying? Because you might be surprised. You just might be surprised, and also finding out who you actually related to. Some of us come from some big families. Iron Malt Gordon in the house. Also live in Dallas, born in OKC. All right, with folks in Denver. Okay, no doubt, man. Yeah, and it's funny too because that's just it's like that big. It's like a triangle. Like, okay, y'all could get to a lot. As soon as you leave the West Coast, it is so easy to get to and fro. Y'all are driving less than a day. And you come out west, baby. It is 10 to 12 hours to get out of this state. From the border to, say you were going to LA or Disneyland. Oh, that's going to be another 16 on top of that. And it's just 2 states. Or if you want to go to Canada, you could hop in the car and drive about 6 hours north. Or if you just needed to get to the next state, which is Idaho. So really, what, as a Black person, would you really be wanting to go to Idaho for? But if you need to, that would be about 6 hours. Man, y'all's lucky. I appreciate, especially as soon as you start getting further east, the states start getting smaller. And man, y'all can maneuver. Y'all could be from place to place to place to place driving. We headed to the airport if we want to do anything out here. You are on a plane. You know what I'm saying? Miss D at Suite 201. Hey, Beatzilla. Thank you for being here as well. Happy Friday and happy Black History Month. As I said at the beginning, happy Foundational Black American History Month. And we have Faith Speaks Life in the house. Hey. This is part of the, I think you're usually in the replay gang. So shout out and salute for you. Salute to you for being here this evening. Thank you. Glad you can make a live. Black First. And Black First Coffee in the house. Black First. Zilla Mods, beautiful foundational Black American fam. Yes, indeed. Black First to you. Yes, indeed. Black First Coffee. For those of you who drink coffee, y'all know. Yeah, I'm a coffee drinker. I mean, I drink tea as well, but yeah, well, I'm a black, straight black coffee type of guy. The things that happen as you get older. You younger, you putting all that extra sweet cream and all that madness in your coffee. You get older, be like, yeah, I'll just take it straight. You want these tea cream and sugar? Nope. But I mean, hey, I guess to each his own. And in some places they say, hey, don't even fool with coffee. It's addictive. But hell, so is everything. So if you enjoy the flavor of a good coffee, drink it black. That's my advice. I would tell you, drink it black. And like I said, your palate changes over years. So, you know what it is. Thank you, brother, dark skinned brother, for the super sticker. Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, that's what that is. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Much blessings, family. Cut to check. I'm pretty sure that's what that meant. So, yes, indeed, I got you. And again, for the super sticker, man, brother, I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Man, peace, power, blessings, and protection be upon you and yours, my good brother. And we have Patricia Slade in the building. Patricia Slade, yes, indeed. Jersey City in the house. Black first. Faith Speaks Life said, I love coffee. 1 cup won't kill me. Correct. Once again, dark-skinned brother with the super sticker. I appreciate that, brother. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be up on you and yours. Appreciate that. Black first. Now, so I'll start here because we can always double back and get on these wicked crats and what they're doing. But I'll just start with our history and start with our history celebration. And so, like I said, William H. Witzel, he is the first Black Coloradian born. So, first one born, and he was born. For those of you who saw my Instagram pictures and saw me in front of Union Station, where the family lived at that moment in time was at where Union Station is today. And Union Station is a landmark within itself. So that tells you how long our folks done been in that Denver area, which I guess at the time it was called Central City. So here's a piece that they did on the news out there in Denver back in, I'm thinking this was done probably early summer. But they had the dedication, as you see, in September of just this last year, right after actually my grandmother's 100th birthday. So yeah, it was an eventful week for the family, to say the least. But let me show you. They interviewed a couple of my cousins about this, so I'll play this right now. Check it out.
His legacy spans generations, a legacy that began with his birth, which made him the first Black man to ever be born in the state of Colorado.
We spoke with his family today, whose roots go all the way back to Central City. They spoke to us about how he went from nothing to becoming an established member of the community.
This is the picture of William Henry Witzel. That's my great-grandfather. He was the first Black male born in Colorado. And these are pictures of my grandmother, who are his daughter. And this is the proclamation about William Witzel, and declared June the 6th, 2004 to be the William H. Witzel Family Reunion Day. He was the first one that I know. I think my brother said he knows something about his dad, but he wasn't born in Colorado.
William Henry Witzel, his father was James Witzel. He's the one that, after he was emancipated, came from Kentucky and moved to Gilpin County, Colorado, which is Central City as we know it now. It was his son that was the first Black child born in Colorado. And now there's many descendants. The pride is the fact that when he came here with nothing and established himself and had a business, speaks volumes. We all understand the struggle. We've all had to go through our trials, but those were real trials back then. Yes. So for him to establish himself and be accepted and recognized in Gilpin County, Colorado, back in that time, was to me tremendous, and I'm very proud of that. That's the father of William Witzel, and that's sort of where it all began.
Yes, indeed. So if you didn't understand what he was saying, that about when because I wasn't really certain when I first saw the clip, but you know, a freed slave was able to turn himself a business and turned his craft into entrepreneurship. You're not talking about first generation slave. You talking about freed slave. You see what I'm saying? When you talk about exceptional people, family, we are that. It's not just my family that has stories like this. It's yours too. You know what I'm saying? Your spouses. You know, all of y'all got these different stories in your history and in your lineage. That's why they're so hateful and jealous of us. Do you just think about that? It ain't just mine. He ain't the only black man to walk off the plantation to go become a business owner. Think about that. What group on earth has ever been able to pull that? You leaving out of chattel slavery to become an entrepreneur, raise a family, living free. In some cases, for some people that did not leave the South, it probably was free to feast on famine because the resources were so limited, especially when you think of it, a lot of what was going on in the South that time, some of those areas were war-torn. So crops is burnt. You remember that they're going after the South economically. So you're not just freeing slaves, but you're burning crops. So yeah, you're going to instantly find a destitute situation. So having the wherewithal to understand, hey, I can take these skills on the road. How many of those folks walked off of plantations and settled in Oklahoma, Illinois? All of these areas, you understand what I'm saying? What other group has been able to pull that off? Let these folks tell you nothing. Oh, you guys are so inherently violent. Are you kidding? I mean, just think of the logic in that. You have chattel slavery in America, the most recognizable atrocity that is before modern media, before any kind of record. But here's the thing. The world knows that this happened because you still have these people in your possession. The most creative writer ever born could never create a character so wicked. Ooh-wee. I'm just saying. Patty Cakes in the house. Patty Cakes in the house. Thank you. Sounds like my favorite story. Yes, indeed. You know, I say it often. We have made Mr. Power Tool in the house. Yes, indeed. We have made being the descendants of slaves the most coveted thing on earth. I mean, they really want to be us on a major scale. Lois Hub in the house. Thank you so much for being here, Lois Hub. I appreciate you. Thank you, Black First. Oh, family, by the way, let me mention this. I have left the commercials on the way it works. But see, when you have commercials running during your lives, they'll tend not to put your stuff out of their algorithm. They'll kind of let it be out there versus the usual shadow ban. So I've just noticed that based on the clear numbers that I'm being shown, it does make a difference because again, typically this platform on my channel is always been shadow banned from the jump. So it's not news, but I have noticed just within the jump of the numbers, it makes a great difference. Yes, indeed, brother. Brother dark skinned brother with the super chat. They just mad because we got next. Beatzilla, my warrior brother. Yes, indeed. Forever, all praise to the Most High. Man, because Babylon is falling. And I hope y'all just understand. Y'all need to let it fall. For real. Man, thank you, brother. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be upon you and yours, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, you know, wait, Judah Queen said, what? I ran into an Asian advertisement. Dance performance. Not just Shin Yun, but like dance. Like they're gonna be doing our dances. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. You know. Not surprised one bit. But now let me show y'all. Let me go into this real quick. So let me see. I'll do this. So let me put that up there. And so as you're seeing, like again, the first Black Coloradonian. There's the piece that somebody also wrote on. A matter of fact, let me see who wrote this. Okay, I unfortunately can't see his name right now. Excuse me. It says Denver opened a new park Saturday named after the first Black person born in Colorado, William H. Witzel. The park at 40th and Kirk in Denver hosted a ribbon cutting, guest speakers, and commemorative unveiling. And a commemorative unveiling. It is in the Green Valley Ranch neighborhood of District 11, City Council member Stacey Gilmore's district. Quote, William H. Witzel was a remarkable man, Gilmore posted on her Facebook page. A son of two likely freed slaves who moved west to live where Union Station stands today, he was the first Black Coloradan and a Mason and a community leader. Now, a park in Green Valley Ranch bears his name, forever enshrining his legacy. Thanks to everyone who joined his family and me this Saturday in dedicating Denver's newest park in his name. I'm proud of our community for elevating stories of triumph through adversity from people like William. Excuse me. It says Jesse and Julian Carey, which you saw Julian Carey speaking, and the descendants of Witzel spearheaded the efforts to name the park. They submitted more than 500 signatures in support of the name to the Park and Recreation Advisory Board. The board held a public hearing on January 11th to change the name and unanimously approved it. Mr. William Witzel grew up in Denver attending public schools, according to a memo from Allegra Happy Haynes to the council. He later became a brick molder and a mason for the A.J. Baker Company. In this role, he helped in the construction of many buildings in downtown Denver. An active community member, Mr. Witzel was a member of the Campbell's, African American Methodist Episcopal, the Masonic Lodge, the Fraternal Order of Elks and Odd Fellows. According to the bill that names the parks, members of the Green Valley Ranch neighborhood advocate for this name to celebrate the history, impact, and contributions of William H. Witzel, his descendants, and African Americans in Denver of the state of Colorado. Let's see. All right. And it says, according to the memo from Haynes, Witzel was born in Central City, Gilpin County, Colorado. And that's pretty much where Denver is now. So that is just a tidbit of history of mine. Excuse me. I don't know why my throat getting so dry. Just as I'm talking, but so I have to chew me a little gum for a second if y'all don't mind. I can't stand that. There's another piece that I need to show y'all. Where is that? Okay. I need to share this screen. There we go. Because within me looking this story up, another story from like 2018 came out. And it's a news article that says, oh man, I want to move this window. Okay. All right. Now, cause I can put this. Let me put this on the screen. What's going on here? Oh, all right. There we go. So, fifth generation Coloradan defined by heritage. Wow. For engineering drafter Brian Ivory, great-great-grandson of the first African-American male born in Colorado, family bonds run deep. Brian Ivory is proud of his family's African-American, boy, he's slamming you with the African-American part, ain't they? With his FBA heritage. And a lineage of strong family bonds, deeply rooted in spirituality and surrounded by music. And that's absolutely true. Who's this picture taken? I don't know if this is the date of this picture. Okay, yeah, it just shows his birthday. Who's the first? So February 24th, 1866. Wow. That's a long time. Ivory, a Denver water engineering design drafter, is the great-great-grandson of William Witzel, the first foundational Black American born in Colorado. Witzel was born in Central City on February 24th, 1866, when Colorado was just a U.S. territory. Witzel's mother and father were likely freed slaves who came from the West to help build the railroad. After a short time, the family moved to Denver and lived where a Union Station stands today. As an adult, Witzel worked as a brick mason, was dedicated to the community service, and was an active member of the church. His strong work ethic, commitment to civic duty, and his spiritual beliefs have been passed on to generations that have followed. And I'll say that was definitely true. Ivy credits his cultural heritage and family upbringing for defining who he is today. Cultural heritage. You can't get cultural heritage from Africa. That's a totally different culture. Also understand, we talk about spirituality and also surrounded by music, which those two things, Africans really be coming over here, oh, we're the mothers and fathers of all of them. You're not. Because see, here's the thing. We're naturally that. And if you were naturally anything like we are, the world would know. Instead, we see what y'all produce. To the left, to the left, to the left, to the left. All your banks are packed in. To the left, to the left, to the left, to the left. Oh, Lord. Oh, man, that's horrible. To the left, to the left. Oh, man. Oh, who I see coming in the house? I see In the Mix Radio in the house. Shout out to you, In the Mix Radio. Black First. Appreciate you being here. We got One Who Cares in the building. Shout out to you, my good sister. Thank you for tuning in on this Friday evening, Black First. So, okay, so let's get back to where we at. Oh yeah. Matter of fact, yeah, I need to hit one of this relative here. Yeah. The Witzel lineage has produced at least 18 seventh generation Coloradans. The oldest living member of the family is Ivory's mother, Janice Ivory, who serves as the unofficial family historian, and that is absolutely a fact. Unofficial. Yeah, I guess you could call her unofficial, but yeah, she definitely does her. She does her business. She has. I mean, our family has a lot of. We got a lot of lineage, history, heritage, and they make sure they keep this thing together. So it's a dope thing to have that. Because again, that's how all of us know everybody. Like they got all our birthdays, and I mean, shoot, my kids, they and all they are solid, super solid. Let me see. Let me go here. Janice Ivory remembers the importance her parents placed on confidence and hard work. Quote, my father instilled strong ethics and morals in all of us, and my mother taught us to be proud and courageous. My siblings and I always knew we could do anything we put our minds to, she said. Yeah, I know that's right. You encourage these children. Yes, indeed. That's Brian with cousin Janice right here. So, some more good foundational Black American folk. You didn't know? Yes, the unofficial historian. Okay, growing up in Denver's 5 Points neighborhood, Janice Ivory's family was very active in church. As a kid, I always wanted to do what the neighbor kids were doing, but that was unacceptable in my family. That's another thing that we probably a lot of us in here have in common, right? Oh, we don't do what they do. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm sure some of y'all understand what I'm talking about. Cynthia Newman in the building. Thank you for being here and tuning in on this Good Friday evening. Cynthia Newman, thank you. Black first. All right. And so that was unacceptable. Is okay, hopefully that's not dark on y'all side. It's not showing dark. Let's see. Okay. She said there was no tolerance for smoking, drinking, or disrespect. As a child, I didn't appreciate it, but now I can look back and see what an advantage my upbringing offered me. Now think of in that moment just to understand keeping family togetherness going. You understand what I'm saying? You got your family unit strong, and you guys are a cohesive unit. Then you produce kids that then in turn keep that cycle going. So what did they want to do? Start messing with that generational building. Number one, when you got sense, you're dangerous. When black folks got sense, they see you as dangerous. You understand what I'm talking about? So we have to always be mindful. They ain't worried about the dumb ones. Oh no, they worried about you smart ones. That's when they perk up. Oh, wait a minute, we got a smart one here. Hold on, man. And she instilled the same values in her own children, including son Brian Ivory. And yeah, okay, so Brian, I think Brian spoke at the service. My memory serves me correct. I have a huge extended family and 10 children of my own, he said. We all come together to support one another. We didn't grow up with a lot of money, but we have always been rich in spirituality, which I believe is part of the Black experience. See, when you start talking about what builds our legacy and why we boast of our own legacy, again, this is just my family. All of you have a story like this or more in yours. You understand what I'm saying? So we have so much exceptional people and heritage here. What are we looking for to another continent? We're going to overlook our ancestors here? You're talking about people, we're not that far removed from the people who walked off of plantations. Why would we ignore their contribution of what they built here to talk about some area that we have no connection to? But here's the thing. They want us now to accept the children who ain't got no tie to us, but want us to look at them as we're one. Well, if we were one, why when you come here, we don't see the oneness? See, we have to absolutely accept we are totally different. We are totally different. One of the biggest things about the Black experience out and their experience and wherever they come from, they have never been in the condition to really solidly understand why you have to stay together. Because they don't have that DNA trauma of being completely a broken apart family. You understand what I'm saying? They don't have that. We're the only ones who can legitimately internalize what that is. The most that they could talk about is, well, what about them kids in cages? Better than being a kid sitting on a tree branch waiting for an alligator to come eat you. Now, I think there's enough savagery that's taking place in this country. You don't need to tell me about genocide going somewhere. Happy Foundational Black History Month. I don't need to worry about what bombs going on nowhere. We got with the Black Wall Street. We have Rosewood, Devil's Punch Bowl. List goes on. Ferocious, the producer. What's going on? Salute. Black First, man. Good to have you in the house. Yeah. Black First Coffee said, my family chartered and mapped Kentucky. Damn. Salute to them, man. Salute to y'all. And that's what I'm talking about. Our experiences are unique to us. That's what upsets them so much. Cynthia Newman, you are absolutely on point. And think about it. All of that contributes to our creativity as well. It contributes to the music. See, they be talking about, oh man, we need to go ahead and admit the tie of all your music comes from Africa. Man, if you don't get the hell up out of here, these people, again, number one, you have to remember there would be no tie for a 7th generation slave to have a tie to Africa. You're stripping Africa away from the people who even remember Africa. For those who did, what about the people who didn't? They don't know nothing about no Africa. You're a foreigner to them. And they property, they know that much. Because we're talking about intelligent people. Because illiterate or not, real is real all the time. And being in chains and being captive to a vicious, mean demon, it'll bring you to reality real quick about situations. You ain't going to have no time to waste or play. Got to always be on point and having your P's and Q's. And these folks, now that they see black folks with hey, we need some reparations, and we got good sense about why we do. Everybody's going on alert. And if y'all have not noticed, especially on that app X, how many of these people are so extremely upset it is Black History Month? I mean, they're just so disturbed. Oh man, it's like that's how deep it is. We don't think of them like that. We don't come up with the anniversary of the creation of mayonnaise. You know, we don't interrupt that party. You understand what I'm saying? Carrot raisin casserole salad. You know, the inventions of those being invented. We don't involve ourselves with the likes of those parties. You know, I'm just saying. Oh man, okay, but like he said, Black experience and what I celebrate most about my heritage. All right. Brian Ivory's childhood memories include family gatherings at his grandmother's house. She was the matriarch, and her home was the epicenter of our family. When we got together, there was always music, gospel music, and praying. That's what I remember most, he said. Brian Ivory's entire family, from siblings to aunts to uncles and cousins and grandparents, all had various musical talents. His uncles played played in the Denver club circuit in the 1960s and 70s, and several of his cousins followed in their footsteps from the 1990s until today and have received many Artists of the Year titles. His uncle even played saxophone and drums with Earth, Wind, and Fire in the early 1980s. And Brian Ivory studied percussion under Philip Bailey, if you didn't know, of Earth, Wind, and Fire, and in the 1970s at the Metropolitan State College. Yes, indeed. And so as Brian reflects on his family's history, he feels honored to come from such a strong-rooted ancestry. Cultural history instills a sense of pride. It allows you to believe in yourself and calls you to a greater purpose in life, he said. Who can say when you are identifying yourself and your community, and when you're doing it, you know that our identification that we are using, it comes from us. Our name wasn't given. This is who we are. You understand what I'm saying? They don't like that. And then when we're also, because again, something they can't take from a lineage of or a heritage, the culture of it. Because any way you slice it, within our family, see, this is when you start really getting into the exceptional tenacity and spirit of foundational Black Americans. Because not just my family, but all of y'all's families have this potential to just grow large, but be a very much of presence in a community, kind of establishing a culture. I mean, you understand what it makes sense, right? You got enough people, yeah, you could change a culture, or the culture develops, and that's how it happens. Because people, oh man, y'all act like the white. We do not act like the white man. And you're looking at the group of people that had to spend majority of their time up under them. So for us to have such an absolute opposite culture says a ton about our exceptional placement, or our exceptional reality. You understand what I'm saying? Dark-skinned brother with the super sticker. I appreciate that, my good brother. 100. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be upon you and yours, brother. I appreciate that. So going on, still a sense of pride that allows you to believe in yourself, causes you the greater purpose of life. Say, okay. 4, Brian Ivory, the purpose is a spiritual journey. In addition to his work at Denver's Water, where he has assisted in the design of civil, mechanical, and structural components for Ralston and Marston reservoirs and Moffett Treatment Plant, he also serves as a pastor and attends Denver Seminary, where he is pursuing a master's degree in divinity. Quote, my upbringing has brought me where I am today, and I am proud of my family and where I come from. So this was something that even their water bureau there wanted to highlight one of their employees, and you could go highlight an employee by showing his historical tie to the state. So it's a dope thing. Like I'm saying, and I hope that you take this opportunity, this particular foundational Black American History Month, to reflect on the greatness and exceptional individuals in your own family lineage right here in America. Don't let nobody tell you that you have to worry about anybody else overseas or in the motherland. And you got to understand where you come from, brother. Now, see, what you don't understand is what you don't understand. And then when you don't overstand, I mean, come on. So to be clear, because, you know, people get real ignorant out here and don't have any clue on what they're talking about half the time. But if y'all were wondering, that side of my family is on my father's side, on his mother's side. On the other side, that's the Moorish side. And the Moors on this line can be traced all the way back to England. So when you say Whitmore, that's what that means. It means white-looking Moor, meaning these were high yellow black folks from England. So, you know, and that's just the long and short of it. And some people were here free. You know, me and my dad was talking about this the other day. Like, it's an interesting thing. You got to have, and if you guys have these family historians that are still living, go tap that resource. You'll be finding out so much more. Same as like all of us black, you know, natives that they have since, you know, forgotten about. Because, you know, you got to think, a lot of these territories, these folks knew them folks was dark. You got to, there's a few of them red ones that's just offspring, but they was able to start some lines, got some position, and hey, yeah, these folks know. They know. You just didn't lighten up by happenstance. Oh, it's by chance, man. Now, come on. And you have these little racist $5 offsprings be running around here. Ain't no such thing as no black native. More native than any of you could ever be. That's why we are foundational to this country. Because there's quite a few of us that even predate the slave ships coming here. So, yeah. Y'all set up the Bering Straits. Okay. All right. The Bering Straits. Funny, though. All your woolly mammoths are right up here in the Pacific Northwest. They found another frozen one. Saber-toothed tigers, all these things that are supposed to be in Mother Africa. Can someone explain to me why you have dinosaur bones in this particular area of the world? I don't understand. You tell us these things, and yet, when you're coming across them, they was up there working in Seattle and found a woolly mammoth. You gotta, and the one they just found, it ain't even decomposed. It's frozen. It was literally frozen and preserved. Yeah. Don't believe these people like that, family. I'm just saying. You understand? These people are not to be trusted at all. Damn devil. Oh, okay, let me show y'all this stuff real quick. So, I'll wrap up this story with showing y'all this picture. This here, no, I guess not. Oh well. So this is the Denver Fire Department, and you know, there's my cousins here, and they are at the park that is named after William H. Whitsell, one of our patriarch. So, yeah. And that's the dope thing. And Denver Fire Department, all of these people, showing love. And Denver got, like I said, a lot of Black history, historical things there. So it's dope. But again, like we saw earlier in the chat, you have, I think it was Iron Mall. You have people that came from the South. Because for me, I have family in Denver, Arkansas, and Texas. And there's a lot of people out west that could probably say a lot of that, especially Arkansas. Like, you talk about the Pacific Northwest, majority of Black folks up this way are probably hailing from around that direction. Because my on my mama's side, that's where the whole migration from Arkansas come from. On both sides, they make her up, matter of fact. And it's amazing to me. Black folks act like they well, no, I can't say Black folks. Some of these tethers don't understand the different nuances that go into our, I guess you say, phenotype or our makeup here. Number one, we have intact hairlines. And, oh man, you mixed. Here's something I don't think that can actually be achieved by being mixed. I don't believe your hair can legitimately be jet black. I don't think you can pull that off. Like, my hair is 7 shades of purple that makes jet black. I know because I've dyed my hair before. I'm old enough to do the whole polka dots in the 90s. And I had a blonde streak right in the front of my high top curly fade. And as it's turning, you just see it just turning shades of purple till it's fuchsia, till it's orange, and then it's white. So yeah, you got to understand, family, like, these people don't know anything about our lineage. They don't know anything about our history. They only come over here talking about what they've been told about us, which is always usually a load of crap and dead wrong. So there's that. So, I'll wrap up this part because I got a little more to talk about, but this is not going to be a long broadcast at all, because I really mainly wanted to just share that with y'all, and share the fact that, and this is how I'm closing, is that, again, I reiterate, make sure that if you have living family historians, get as much information from them as you can while they're still here. Take advantage of that. Tap into them resources. Get all your family tree information that you need. Because again, we come from a very rich legacy, and one thing that's happened in our families is we in slavery were separated. Coming out of slavery, families immediately came back together. Then we let in the master's daughters. And the scattering miraculously started taking place once again. I'm sure people say, and I'm not saying, hey, I have an issue with anybody mixed. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is the togetherness of the family unit was definitely altered with integration. Integration comes with pros and cons. If you're going to here's the thing for Black folks. When it's something that negatively harms black folks and it might make white folks feel uncomfortable, people go on alert and be like, wait a minute, hold on now. No, and what I'm saying is what I'm saying true or not? And you can anybody argue with the fact of the cohesiveness? And okay, prime example, I'll use my family as an example. There's not a lot of that going on. We have black children. Black children have more black children. We got a gang of black babies. There was babies running around at our little function. Able to still have your family togetherness. And that I can say on my other side of my family, that doesn't exist. Not like that. And I know exactly why on that end. And I can't say that that's going to be everybody's situation. But I most definitely can say I know it in mine to be true. You start letting them outside ideas come in. One of the outside ideas that comes in with that often is that somehow being black is subpar to them being white. So then you start internalizing, looking at your exceptionalism as a negative. You persevere through all of this, chattel slavery. In this story that I just went through, there's a man that walked out of a plantation as a freedman. Him and his wife go to Colorado, and that is where they have the first black child born in the state of Colorado. And he has him as a businessman. A businessman. What group can you ever say would have enough strength to be leaving slavery, leaving chattel slavery, and then all of a sudden now can just walk straight into a new town and become a new man and pop your collar? I mean, really. So there's something to be examined there and why they hate us so much. And I hope y'all take this month to reflect on the greatness of your own family members. And, you know, if y'all need to do a little more digging, do that. But I'm certain that it ain't just me. It's many of you that have a lot of these stories. We've seen a few getting laid down in the chat. I mean, this is absolutely a great people. No mistake. Now, that's what shows how great this people can be. You could go through chattel slavery, get freed, and go kick ass in the world with nothing. So I take this time to salute my own ancestor and salute to y'all's as well. So happy Foundational Black American History Month to all of you and all of my family who might be watching this replay. Salute to all of you, Black first. Now, back to what we normally do. And we cover some topics in the news, topics out in the world. And if you did not see the opening of this broadcast, I'm not going to play the longer video of the sister because y'all can go back and watch that. But I want to play this once again because I hope y'all hear what's being said here. And anybody that tells us to, man, y'all just need to, man, vote for Joe Biden. If you look at the Republicans, oh, you think they're going to put some policies in place for you? Oh, well, what's Joe and Kamala going to do for black folks?
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
Hey, but what about illegal immigrants who are legally invaded the country and have not been vetted? Could be criminals, rapists, or any type of thing. Who knows? What are you doing for them?
Astounded. Can illegal immigrants in New York vote?
In New York City, I believe they passed a law. Luckily, we don't have that law in Nassau County, but in the city council and mayoral races, I believe illegal aliens recently have been given the right to vote.
Let me follow up with that. So if you are of the persuasion we need more of them, and they're aligned with your politics, let's say on the Democrat side, is it to your benefit if you live in those areas where illegals are casting their vote for you? Politically, is it to your benefit to have these ideologies of just allow more to come in regardless of the cost?
Well, absolutely not. And I think it's always to the benefit of Americans and to America, whether it's a local race, a state race, or a federal race, that you be a United States citizen.
Yeah.
You actually be a citizen and you take the oath that you pledge to defend and support the Constitution of the United States.
But do you see that there are some, we'll say, Democrats that would want this type policy because it helps them stay in office because they have illegals that vote for them?
It definitely changes the voting pool in favor of those who would let anybody in.
Man, I just can't help but look back at how many people used to jump up in my comments and on my timeline telling me how much bad it's going to be and the world's going to come to an end if Trump get in there. Trump is racist. Trump ain't nowhere near as anti-black in policy as Joe Biden is. Joe Biden was in office all of these years. History of anti-black policies. Y'all vote him in just like clockwork, right back to business with the anti-black policies. And black folks voted him in. Amazing. Let's just hear some clips from this guy.
That we immediately surge to the border. All those people are seeking asylum. They deserve to be heard. That's who we are. Not only our Muslim communities, but African communities, Asian communities, Hispanic communities, and the wave still continues. It's not going to stop, nor should we want it to stop. As a matter of fact, it's one of the things I think we can be most proud of. So there's a second thing in that black box, an unrelenting stream of immigration, nonstop. Folks like me who are Caucasian of European descent, for the first time in 2017, will be in an absolute minority in the United States of America. Absolute minority. Fewer than 50% of the people in America from then and on will be white European stock. That's not a bad thing. That's a source of our strength.
And Joe Biden wasn't worried about being replaced when he said this.
This country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. You hear me? Minority white European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do.
But yet, there's more.
At a moment of deep division in our nation, President Lincoln said, "We are not enemies." He said, "We are not enemies, but friends. We must not be enemies," he went on to say. I've long believed we have to look at each other, even in our most challenging times, not as enemies, but as fellow Americans. Scripture tells us the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness. I believe that's our collective calling today.
I believe the good book says that good book, you know, that good book says, you know, that good book be saying stuff, you know, and I pull from it because I need to make sure I get some of y'all on board with the BS, and, you know, y'all love the Bible stuff, so I'll just go ahead and hit y'all with the Bible. Meanwhile, in South Carolina, I gotta show y'all this. Yeah, I knew there was something. Because, oh, wait. What is this on? I don't see that here. I need audio. Okay, hold on. I know what I need to do. Put that over here. In South Carolina, they did this, I guess you could say, expose on South Carolinian poll workers. And this a real interesting video. It's like it's well, I was about to say it's kind of cringy, but no, it's just straight up cringe worthy. I mean, because it's like, well, you know, voting for Biden, and it's like this group has been absolutely overjoyed selling out the black community, and they'll probably act like that ain't what they doing, but yeah, you better believe it is. Hold on, let me get this in here so I can show y'all this. Okay, let me bring this back. Okay, get it here. Oh boy, let me show y'all this here. Oh, I need to get the sound on.
Hi, Minister John Aiken, Bernice G. Scott, to the poll and vote for Joe Biden. We definitely need to stay home. We complain, but we don't need to stay home.
Literally just saying, vote for nothing. We can't afford to stay home. Why not? You're not getting nothing for your vote. That logic makes no sense. Why ain't this working? Yeah, I mean, what's she saying? I mean, I don't know why they do that. Okay, that is there. All right. So, what's happening there? Okay, let me get this back on the screen.
We do it every day because everybody got the sheets, and they call every day. We send people to remind them that's the primary point, and we need to show out. The service that we can be provided with is right there. All we got to do is go out and vote. We complain about what we don't have, and what we do have is one vote.
What? We complain about what we don't have, but what we do have is one vote. Huh? trying to wrap my mind around that point she's making. Can y'all understand what she's saying? I mean, we all complain about what we ain't got. But what we got is one vote. I ain't got but one vote, one vote, one vote. All I need is one vote, one vote. Oh my goodness.
And if we do our one vote, those are the people that we can put and keep.
What? Woman, you live in Jim Clyburn's district, the poorest district in your state. Get what you need. What? Fish, catfish nuggets? We saw what you got. While old Jim was on his yak over there cussing at folks talking about reparations. Why y'all keep fucking with me? I'm over here trying to sip my yak. Y'all over here fucking with me. Black First Coffee. She's speaking from her impoverished position. Because he gonna give, you know what? Because Joe Biden coming to town and he bringing some gifts. Lord knows if he got some gifts, I'm gonna take them gifts. Because we done been through enough already. I'm gonna take me some gifts. Shoot. Hand them over.
Across the United States.
We are trying our very best to energize the base to get people excited about this election. Echo the we
No, they not.
want to make sure.
No, Negro, they are not.
To get out to support their candidate. Then, of course, as well as we are galvanizing and pushing towards the general election, we then have to make sure that that momentum doesn't cease, that we get excited all the way through.
How? With everything that's going on right now, how? How you gonna pull that off? That's one thing I would like to know. How? How you gonna do that? Because when you really think about this in the long run, moved or motivated by this dude right now. So why now would you think like, oh yeah, you know, we just got to figure out a way to fix up this messaging? You can't. I believe you are probably figuring out that's your issue right now. And rightfully so, because you suck. You know? Good Lord.
How does this help us build power? How does this affect Black representation? This entire year, we'll be talking about how Black voters lead the way. We lead the way in the primary process, and we lead the way on election day, right?
There is tangibles for every other group. First thing that they do is make you or try to invoke a feeling of belonging. And then they try to give you a false sense of ownership. Well, yeah, see, we can get this done. I'm sure all of the slaves were in the fields working super hard because they didn't want to get beat. But there's always some delusional person out there that'll tell themselves that, oh, well, they were out there working hard for their master because they loved him. There might have been some foot shuffling Uncle Toms on that plantation that might have been one of those of that ilk. Nonetheless, that determination of how they thinking is coming from the wrong position. And this type of thing right here is just, okay, so let's go ahead and give you a bunch of nothing. And then we'll say a bunch of nothing. We're going to say a bunch of words. And, we're going to use, we've always fought. And we're resilient. And this and that. And when we vote, then we change things. And then we play our part. And then we do what we do. And that's why we fight. With our vote. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man.
Back. Between 2020 now and now in 2024, oddly, in some ways, it's a little easy because we're not in the middle of a pandemic, right? With that said, it's obviously in some ways because we've got a wave of voter suppression laws that have been passed since the 2020 election. You've also got other things like the levels of
waves of voter suppression laws. The hell is he talking about? What waves of voter suppression laws is he talking about? Have y'all? What is he talking about? Voter suppression laws. Oh yeah, a wave of voter suppression laws. What are you talking about? Where? Here's the funny part. There's fugitive illegals in this country right now who assaulted a police officer in New York that somehow are allowed to give fake names and get on buses. I just flew to Denver and back home. I have to show my ID to get on that plane. I can't just give them my name and say, well, yeah, I mean, this is me. Let me on the plane. So they gave fake names. It's like, oh, you can give a fake name and get on a plane. Oh, that's classic. That is classic. We can't do nothing of the sort. But here, this guy, voter suppression. No, we ain't. I have an ID. Those people who are traveling don't. And you have illegals. Where they get ID to vote? In New York. And they're admitting that they are being allowed to vote. Oh, we didn't know it was voting by accident. (2024) is shaping up to be real interesting.
Disinformation that we saw in 2020 is going to be multiple 2024, especially which I think is, people aren't necessarily energized about the Biden administration. Now, the truth is that I say all the time, the truth is Black voters weren't necessarily all that enthusiastic about the Biden run in 2020, right? What you saw was a very pragmatic response, but there wasn't a deep level of like, oh, I'm excited, right? I'm deeply connected to Joe Biden. So to a certain extent, what people are seeing now isn't really new. It's just being manifested in a different way, and especially since now he's the incumbent.
Inevitability is very pressing on folks. A lot of young voters are disengaged and very so shocked and seeing our taxpayer dollars go to these other places and endless wars while we're out here starving, trying to make check to check. Living wages aren't living wages anymore. People who my age, he was like, all right, we just gonna, I know you speaking, but excuse me, like I have something to say. I have my point to make. You ain't allow me to speak. You ain't put me on the bill to speak. I have something to say. My voice never been heard. I'm a Palestinian woman. My voice never been heard. I got something to say. I'm a Black man, 21, former felon, whatever. I have something to say. So these are big issues that people are just no longer accepting as a background issue. They're not accepting the Roe v. Wade as a background issue. Like, these are things people are really passionate about. And the ceasefire thing too. These are not background issues. These things are.
Hold on, bro. No, you see, yeah, you went off the rails. See, you was convincing for a minute. Roe v. Wade matters to this guy. Okay there, fella. Not sure I really buy that, because I know that just to not be true, but okay. That's what Black Americans are worried about. Roe v. Wade. Reparations is usually, it's consistently trending on X. It's trending because Black people, the Black real grassroots, are making it trend. Where is the Roe v. Wade trending all the time? It's in people's mouths, but where is it literally trending with the people? So he comes out, this is what the people want to see. It's on people's minds, you know. What next? LGBTQ? Because see, they needed a they needed like a Black version of Joe. Like, here's Joe the mechanic. So they needed one of those guys. It's like, what does this dude really do? Like, so you got him, got his afro out, and he wearing a hat. Like, oh yeah, I'm looking like Joe Black worker man. I'm on my way to my job at Amazon warehouse.
Forefront for black folks, Black young folks, particularly.
A great president, a good man, Joe Biden.
I tell people all the time, in politics, it's one thing to hear and see. It is something else to feel. And so much about politics rests on feelings, emotions. And the emotions were all there last time. It's not here this time. Gas prices, the people want to measure everything.
Now, he just dropped a jewel. Politics is about emotion. Y'all catch that? Politics is about emotion. Damn.
Everything by way down. Inflation down. And so people are settling their time, confidence to come back. And so those raw emotions are not there this time. So what you have to do, in my opinion, is run a campaign based upon the table that's being set. I don't think you will have the level of turnout that we had before. And so I keep telling people, it says, what do you call success? That's what, if you get 65% of the vote, like you did up in New Hampshire, that's a success. Now the question is 65% of how many? So success has to be determined by how many people vote, how much you get of the people who vote.
This is the whip, Jim Clyburn. He's telling you, basically, he's worried. In so many words, he is telling everybody in the world he's worried. The enthusiasm and the emotion ain't there. Right. You cannot fear your way into the White House this time. This is a policy situation, and you're going to have to kick in. Pimp. Because here's the problem. Matter of fact, I'll get this. This is enough of them. You know, we done seen the Coon Squad. This is about over anyway. So I'll just wrap that up. Because at the end of the day, why the Democrats are having the issues that they are having with Black voters is because Black voters have to sit back and be lied to while you got these, you know, I don't know about this, who this guy is. He says he's a border agent or whatever. But listen to what he's saying.
Remember about a month ago, I put out a video saying that when many of these illegals are getting processed for people claiming asylum, they're getting a cell phone, they're getting a plane ticket across this country, and then even getting gift cards. Some of them even getting cash. Well, The media went to work really fast to try to debunk me and say that I was putting out false information. Verify said it was false information. Well, this is just one of the reports we've seen recently. Now the UN is saying that they were handing out up to $1.6 billion through NGOs to illegal immigrants for things like gift cards and cash. Gift cards like this. We find these all over on the other side of the border and on our side of the border. And we find them with the folks that we pull over and stop that have come into this country illegally. So once again, I'm here to remind you that the information that the mainstream media feeds you is what's false.
See, there's a person on the ground. And then here's another clip from what's going on. These are very real things. And then when you see video clips of Joe Biden saying, this is what we're going to do, then you see in New York that, oh, well, if you bring in all of these illegals, then it helps your voting in that particular district. So it'll boost up votes that support a particular agenda of yours. Right? That makes perfect sense. And that's what they're trying to do. That's why they are looking. And Joe Biden he's telling you that this is literally Dr. Francis Cress Welson's theory being played out by United States policy. They are fearing genetic annihilation, and he's telling you so. So we need to get these people in here to do something. And then you have Jane Elliott sitting up there with Roland Martin on his show talking about it's up to black women to make sure that the white race doesn't go extinct. I bet Cynthia G was like, oh, thank you, Jane. But here's another clip from the border.
Brother is a nice guy. You see, he opened the border for all the countries.
Yeah. So they you like him because he opened the border. So todos migrantes, ¿cómo se dice? ¿Cómo todos migrantes apoye presidente Biden en la elección? ¿Migrantes prefiere presidente Biden o presidente Trump? Biden.
Trump no lo queremos en ningún lado.
Sí. ¿No le gusta presidente Trump? No.
Biden es un presidente que ayuda mucho al inmigrante.
Es un futuro mejor Biden.
Que Biden apoya
porque él apoya a los inmigrantes.
Biden.
¿Es un mejor presidente de Trump?
El presidente de Estados Unidos, Biden.
¿Tu opinión de Trump?
Trump no sirve. Trump no quiere a los inmigrantes.
Biden, 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 Biden.
They really out there cheering Biden. That's probably the best. That's probably going to be about the bulk of the crowd is doing that. Other than them church Negroes is over there. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Praise me, worthy. Joe Biden walked in our church today. Oh. This doesn't make any sense. I'm just saying. Let me see where I want to go next. Let's just go here. Okay. Because I just want to run you, and most of this is going to be from the border. And then, what some of these politicians have to say about what's happening.
Says because of an unexpected budget surplus, he will allocate $95 million from the federal COVID funds to pay for the migrant costs without any city council approval. Mayor Johnson briefed aldermen Friday.
It was the mayor basically said, we want to avoid a vote on the city council. And to me, that is not appropriate.
We should have known that there was $95 million laying around that we could have used and appropriated for something else.
We need to make sure that we have proper oversight of those dollars.
In a printed statement, the city said Friday that $95 million would go towards the new arrivals mission, including leases for shelters, food services, and shelter staffing. When asked today, however, how does that happen without aldermen weighing in? The mayor's team says the new arrivals mission has significantly expanded government services, so using ARPA funds to replace those expenditures is an appropriate use of funds.
In the last administration with Lightfoot, we voted on everything. Every expenditure of ARP funding or any other CARES Act funding, we always had a vote.
COVID relief money was supposed to go towards relief towards the people of the city of Chicago, not migrants that are migrating to our city.
Mayor Johnson's office says there is another $400 million in COVID money that will be allocated for.
And this is money that he's giving to people who are coming here post-COVID. Why didn't those people get broke off the money? You understand what I'm saying? Like, these people are coming to this country. There ain't no pandemic right now. And you're going to, why was there's a surplus and this wasn't distributed to help your citizens? Like Brother Phil Scott always mentions when he was in Chicago, the young sister that was just living out in the street, freezing. And he's going to give these folks that much money? These people are treasonous at this time. I mean, there's no other way to call it. And just showing you what other people are doing. Let me show you this. I mean, this is getting out of hand. And it's always like, oh, the black neighborhood. Well, there's always an excuse to go be like, oh, well, hey, man, we need to share this space with them. And we have to look out for these folks. Like, check this out.
Emotional, guys, okay? Because I'm committed to this. Little kids need to be able to breathe clean air. They need to be able to access swimming pools. They need to have lifeguards there who are going to teach them how to swim. And they need to have activities. I don't know what we're going to do for 3 months. I'll call universities. I'll call other places.
The governor went on to say she is also looking at other locations, but has not said exactly where.
Insane, man. Absolutely insane. And in the meantime, you got these folks coming over here telling us, like with that woman, what I just showed, the sister, we got our vote. And these people are coming over here getting money. Look at Chicago. All of that's happening. And they're trying to go around even local government voting on it. And then you have people who are supposed to represent the citizens up in Washington trying to tell folks, hey, don't call these illegal invaders illegal.
This bill is another example of that. And I hope my colleagues will stop referring to people as illegals. People are human beings. They have different statuses. Some are undocumented. If you want to say some are illegal, but let's not call human beings illegal. Tired of that language. I urge my colleagues to reject this bill, and I yield back the balance of my time.
Because that's what's important to her. Stop calling them illegal. Stop it. But there's some pushback from the other side, of course. And, when you start hearing the reality of the numbers and whatnot that's going on with this is insane. But pay attention.
With this wide open border, one of the things that is concerned to us is the way these blue cities that are losing population are welcoming illegal immigrants into their community. Now, why are they doing this? It is because when you get to the census, what they need is people who are going to replace the people that have chosen to vote with their feet and leave these cities. So, to the big blue cities, the big blue states, sanctuary cities, this means keeping congressional seats and keeping federal dollars. So I'm so appreciative that Senator Hagerty is pushing forward, bringing this legislation and calling attention to the fact that as we do the census, that these individuals do not need to be counted as.
And she's right. These individuals do not need to be counted in our census because they're not citizens. They don't have a status here. Well, stop calling them illegals. Oh, well, they're illegal, very much so. And sometimes broken clocks are right. Broken clocks are right twice a day. And in Matt Gaetz's case, well, I guess today was that day. Check out what he had to say.
Extent that this is a tax bill, there are good provisions in it on business expensing for economic growth. But my friends, this is not a tax bill. This is a welfare bill masquerading as a tax bill. The Wall Street Journal was correct to identify the ways in which this legislation vastly expands the welfare state. And so this is how the bipartisan agreement came together. If the Republicans were willing to give the Democrats what they wanted for illegal aliens to get massive subsidies in welfare, then the Democrats were willing to give the Republicans what they wanted on a bunch of business welfare. The child tax credit, as currently contemplated, will be a massive pull factor to bring people into this country illegally. And we could have, as the majority party, demanded constraints to stop them from being able to use the money that way. But bipartisanship was more important than good policy. And as my friend from Kentucky, Mr. Massey, noted recently, if you aren't paying taxes and you get a refundable tax credit in the form of a check, that's not a tax cut. That's not even tax policy. That's just welfare. That's just giving people money that didn't initially pay it in, and a bunch of them are here illegally. But it's not just a welfare bill in that respect. It's also corporate welfare. These R&D tax credits that they've put in there are so targeted, they're bought and paid for by the lobbyists who fund their campaigns and give them donations, and it is entirely that they're putting in are deeply misguided. They continue to distort the economy, and frankly, it's just another flavor of a lot of the Green New Deal tax credits that you act like you're against. But indeed, Mr. Speaker, that is not the case. This is not a tax bill. It is a welfare bill in drag, and that may be appealing to some of the proponents.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, where do I want to go? Right here. And I don't know if some of y'all have seen this particular clip. Hold on. Hold on just a sec. Come on now. Come on now. I was about to say. Okay. Let me get this here. That is not what I wanted. So get this. All right. Full screen.
Rage. Why are you outraged?
Because this place was, like you said, it's free. It was a place for our children. Our children, I have 4 children, and it's sad, you know, I have 4 boys, you know, and we really don't have nothing in the community that's free for us. Don't get me wrong, it's great that want to help the immigrants. What about the immigrants that are already here? What about the people that are already here that don't have homes, that don't have jobs, that are sleeping on the street already? These people came from the airport here, probably on boats, probably on buses, and probably all for free. Now they're getting stipends. They're getting what else? I need money for me and my kids, and I was born here. Like, you know, I know life is a struggle in itself, but this is not the answer to help them. Now it's going to destroy our community more and mess our children up more. Like, this is sad. I know a lot of people don't even know about this. I came here last night with my aunt, saw a lot of stadies, a lot of police, and this paper wasn't there yet. They just did this probably 2, 3 in the morning when they brung them here. When everybody's asleep, that's when they brung them here probably.
Now, like she just said, she was there just the previous day, and then it has a whole different. So yeah, they more than likely did just wheel them on in overnight, and that's how they're doing. They're doing this in every city though. Every city close to you, you better know. But so let me go back to her
on buses. I saw New York plates. Wow. I saw Washington, D.C. plates. So they have that much money to come from Washington, D.C. to do this, to do that. Why are they not helping the people here first?
Yes, ma'am. We
need help.
Let's talk to one of the counselors.
Yes.
Aaron, Ms. Murphy, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
When you hear the passion right here from...
That's what I hear in my office all the time. And it is a balance. Like I was telling you earlier, the state owns this building, so the governor has to make a decision on where to put the overflow migrants. But at the same time, the community needs to make sure that that we keep their services in place.
Why would they declare Boston as a sanctuary city?
I mean, I think a lot of cities across this country once they declare themselves a sanctuary city, I'm not sure if they knew the amount of support we were going to need to give.
Was that, I know you're a Democrat, but do you think declaring cities as sanctuaries was a mistake in retrospect?
Looking back, if our communities end up losing the need to live full lives, I think we may be questioning that. We do have to find a balance to make sure that these migrant families have a safe place to go. But at the same time, my concern, I'm an elected official here. I represent the whole city, and I'm the chair of public health in the last 2 years in homelessness. And I've centered my advocacy and policy on making sure that every resident has the resources they need. And I'm hearing that seniors and kids, like Effie was just telling us, that her own family, right, might be disrupted.
Yeah, but that ain't nothing new. That's happening in Chicago too. So see, here's the point. They're trying to make it seem like this isn't an issue. And it is. It's a strain, and it's a policy coming all the way from the top. And at the same time, you're going into these black neighborhoods. You saw that mayor just over there crying, I got to shut it down and I'll do something. Yeah. And it's, of course, it's always the black neighborhood, though. You're shutting something down, a free service in the black neighborhood to move these immigrants in there, to which we've already seen. They're coming across here with money. They're coming here with money. Meanwhile, when black folks are saying, hey, what about some policies just specifically for black folks?
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
And that's about all I'll play this, because we know what the spiel is going to be there. Because there's something else that I want to play. Well, actually, yeah, she's about that. Okay, I'm going to go back to the sister. Okay. Because, the white woman just going to give you babble.
Back in here, Keisha. You hear that from your counselor. What do you want done right now?
Like she said, we want to help them, but at the same time, what about us that need help here? What about, I'm a mother and I have 4 children. They need help. They need somewhere to go. They need something to do.
What type of activities used to be in this building?
Skating ring, exercising, You know, like a place where you can just go chill and stay out of trouble. Now we have to find other places.
What's going to be the consequence of this being changed and just to migrants? And where are those kids going to go right now?
Probably to the streets, where most of them are already at. You know, like when we look for help, it seems like the state and the governor and them people, they push us away. They want to turn our children to animals. They want our children to be bad and F up. We want better for our community, but this right here is going to be a shit show, and it's going to be crazy.
Thank you so much.
This is going to be crazy.
And I'm sorry about that, guys, but that's just the passion out here. People are upset because they don't feel like the people that are in power are representing them.
Yes.
We'll have a reaction here all morning. I'll send.
Now, with that being said, let me get that out of here because I got to go to another part because we got to deal with when politicians that say they represent black folks end up not doing that purposely. They'll be on members of the Black Caucus, and then what you have to figure out is that these. I was going to say, trying to figure out why they are so against our agenda. Well, let me play this for you. This woman is all the way against our agenda. Ayanna Presley. And she makes, like, she's so brazen with it too. If you guys see her on X, she's always trying to come out as a Black Caucus member. And the way she does it is, as a Black Caucus member, let me represent and speak out for every other thing. She never speak up for black folks. But in this particular interview, you will find out why.
Our border is secure, and we're in the midst of a humanitarian crisis, and we have to fix a broken system.
Wait,
and we also
you think it is secure? You think the border is secure, or it is not secure?
I believe that we are in the midst of a humanitarian crisis, and there needs to be federal investment.
Well, first off, no, we're not in a humanitarian crisis at all, because these people aren't here based on humanitarian aid, need, or conflict in their country of like war or anything like that. None of these people are here on that. That's not why they're here.
To support those migrant families. And I work with a number of those community-based organizations on the ground, and they need more support. They need more federal support. This is a humanitarian crisis.
No, it is not. No matter how many times you repeat yourself, ma'am, it's still a lie. It is not a humanitarian crisis. It is not a crisis of the American people, other than it is a crisis of infringement on the American public, citizen, family, and traditions and way of life.
And it's the consequence of a number of longstanding broken policies.
Absolutely not. The policies are just fine. Matter of fact, the policies, we didn't have this issue until Joe Biden changed those policies to his policy now, to which creates such an invasion and wave of immigrants flooding our borders illegally every single day. So no, the system's not broke. That worked just fine. And right now, how much more does that wall make sense? Everybody was talking about Trump and his stupid wall. His stupid wall. That wall don't sound so stupid now, do it? Especially when you see how it works and they got to drive all the way through it. Yeah, that wall do make a little more sense then, huh?
That are very consequential for asylum seekers, TPS holders, and DACA recipients writ large. But that is a conversation for another day.
Sure, I don't disagree with this being a humanitarian crisis at all. But just to get some clarity on this, and sure, it's a conversation for another day. But do you think that the border is secure? Is that what you said?
Yes, the border is secure, and we are in the midst of a humanitarian crisis.
Again, Now she says she feels that the border is secure.
That has been created by a broken system. And in the meantime, we need federal investment to support my constituents and those who call the MA 7th home writ large, which is why we need to prevent a government shutdown. I want to center the humanity, the dignity, the safety, and the needs of everyone, which is.
Wait, what? No, ma'am. See, again, the needs of everyone, everyone's not being harmed here. And literally, see, wow. Sister Keisha, I hope you saw this interview, because this woman right here, she's supposed to be representing you. What she just said, if you were reading between the lines, what she just said is, I hate you, Negroes. What you going through ain't it to me. It's all about the agenda over here, and F all y'all. She's worried about everyone except for you. That's the part she's leaving out. That's the quiet part that she's not saying out loud. Oh, I'm worried about everyone. How? When you just took this black community stuff where everybody ripped the M7, what are you talking about? Let's not sister girl it now. Come on.
Why we should not have a government shutdown. It will be deeply consequential. It will create a dire situation for families.
Okay, well then tell your president to take out all that money for Ukraine. They just got jugged off from the EU, so they don't need our money right now. Let them sit up there and do what they're doing, and then let's really stop funding this war over here in Israel. They don't need our money. They don't need our money. Shoot, tell them to sell some of them artifacts they got sitting over in some of them museums they own. Oh, I mean, or not. Yeah. Supposedly, allegedly. Anyway.
Many that are already struggling.
But if you have millions of undocumented migrants coming into the country, how is the border secure?
Jake, this is not a new crisis. It does require.
So if there's thousands of people coming over illegally, how is the border secure? She said she believes it's secure. In this condition, how can that be so? Jake. Ooh, Jake. Lord.
More political will and commitment. It is a humanitarian crisis. We should treat it as such.
It is not a humanitarian crisis, no matter how many times you repeat the lie, ma'am. This is no, it's an illegal invasion. It's an illegal invasion. These people are coming here criminally, being criminals, as we see, assaulting police and then getting set free by the same prosecutor who refused to give Daniel Penny murder charges and gave him manslaughter charges. While, of course, these supremacists out here still think he got charged with murder, which he didn't. Goof troop. Goof troop. Anti-black racist.
And again, representing one of the most diverse constituencies in the country. And in fact, I chair the House Haiti Caucus. I represent the third largest Haitian diaspora.
What's that you say? Say what? You said you do what now? That's pretty interesting, ain't it?
In the country, and what I see on the ground is community-based organizations and municipalities who need federal support.
I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying.
except for that the border is not safe. But what did she say she represents? She said she represents Haiti. That's what she said she represents, Haiti. The Haitian diaspora. Oh, word. That's cool. Then maybe you probably shouldn't be involved in the Congressional Black Caucus. I cheer the Haitian, this and that, and the diaspora. I'm sure you do. And here's the thing. We just heard a Somalian lady. What's she doing? I Somaliland. It was American position to make sure Somalians never have to worry about water and blah, blah, blah. Oh, now check this out. Somebody else had one of these random videos where they running up on the immigrants and the invaders. Because, they tell these lies, oh, they're asylum seekers. This isn't seeking asylum. But check this out.
tiempo están viajando hasta aquí? 3 días. 3 días. 3 días. Y ustedes llegaron en 3 días hasta aquí, de Colombia hasta los Estados. Más o menos. ¿Cómo lo hizo?
Por recomendación.
Recomendación con carteles.
No estoy seguro si son carteles, pero me imagino obviamente que pues, algo debe estar pasando, pero más que todo por recomendación, uno sabe que ya gente lo ha hecho, entonces uno lo hace y ya.
Entonces fue como de un amigo que les dio una recomendación y de este amigo le pasó un número y de aquí llegó en 3 días.
Exactamente, sí.
Wow, qué loco.
And they want us to get down with that. These people coming here just to get their cake on. Out of your mind. I mean, and these people, these ain't no these are capable, able-bodied men. Why are they coming here versus getting it popping in their homeland? Why does that make any sense? They're coming here. And then you got some of these third world individuals, Lord knows what they're really doing here. Let me see. What's that at? Okay. Like, check this out. They about to be released right off up in here. I mean, that doesn't give you the impression that they're being sent here. You know what I'm saying? Like we have often speculated that to be true, but at this point, it has to be true. But this whole situation in New York, it's shedding light on the problems coming over to America. Like,
are now on the run. Police sources telling me some of these suspects may be headed for Calexico, California, a community situated right on the border with Mexico. My sources also tell me workers recognized these mugshots from the news and alerted them, saying the men had used fake names before boarding the bus to California. Now all eyes are on Judge Marisol Martinez Alonso and DA Alvin Bragg, who oversaw the decision to release these suspects without bail. A spokesperson for the Manhattan DA, Alvin Bragg, chalked up that decision at the time by saying, in part, it is paramount that we conclusively identify each defendant and specify each participant's role in the.
oh, really? And they tried to get some more answers out of Alvin Bragg.
Why were they released? Why were those first migrants released?
Hey, Brad, can you respond to those who say that this looks like a kangaroo court?
Just give us one statement, one comment.
Mr. Bragg, you regret it? You regret letting these migrants free, sir? Can you give us one comment, sir? Why? Sir, you're on behalf of the people. Can you just comment on the situation?
I guess that's a no. Can you comment on the situation? No. He wanted to get the hell up out of there. Now, there was something that I noticed that I'm saying, okay, you know it's bad when the residuals of the dilemma here reach even other people's borders. And I think this is where we go end it tonight, because I just have to show you this is what Joe Biden has literally done. And it's being funded by, some people are saying that the UN is heavily involved with this. They're saying that they're sending these people over here. They're giving them credit cards and whatnot. So this is happening from somewhere. You got the Red Cross over here helping. It's pretty interesting. Just saying. But the melee of what has gone on with Joe Biden's border crisis has hit the borders of Canada. And now Canada is finding ways or looking at things to do. And I would have to just suspect that these areas that are going to be affected probably have more highly concentrated melanin within those areas. Let's see this.
The federal government is investing $143 million through the Interim Housing Assistance Program to help Toronto provide housing for asylum seekers. And thank you very much to the Toronto MPs and ministers who have worked so hard to get that support across the line and have advocated for it so effectively. Today's announcement is part of the $362.4 million in new funding for the Interim Housing Assistance Program that our Immigration Minister, Mark Miller, announced earlier this week. And it is in addition to the $97 million top-up our government announced to the IHAP program for the City of Toronto last July. Taken together, this support means that the City of Toronto will receive $240 million through the Interim Housing Assistance Program this fiscal year alone. And it means, critically, that more newcomers will have a safe and stable place to call home while they get settled in Canada.
Wow. Wow. I mean, this is insane. And anybody who can legitimately vouch for this, you know, should definitely be held to fire for vouching for this. I mean, because I can't help but notice all of these people who had so much to say how stupid we were, and oh man, you know, you guys don't know what you're talking about, and you don't have the understanding of the wherewithal in politics, which also they still tried that this go around too with the whole we don't understand civics. Family, please. We understand that these policies can just simply be put into place and nothing be done, and it's just right, okay. Oh yeah, there is one more thing I needed to play, and I think this will do it. Yeah, I think this is the one. Let me see. Just waiting on it to finish. Come on in. All right. Yeah, I think this is it. And this, I believe this is the video that gives a good breakdown of what is happening right now. Check it out.
We discovered 10,000 people using the exact Social Security number. See if this one rings true. You take an illegal, you bring them in. They sign a piece of paper promising to pay taxes. What they get is a Social Security number. So the employers can take out the taxes. Put a pin in that. Here's what they do. In cities like this, let's think of a chicken processor. They will bring in hundreds of illegals. They will spread them out across all of these plants and factories, giving them jobs. They're all using the same Social Security number. The IRS unconnected our names from the Social Security number. Now when you look it up, it just pings to see if there's an employer. If there is, it says it's good, it validates it. Why do they do that? Because all of these factories are giving them Social Security numbers. The government turns its back on it. As soon as you have a Social Security number and you go over to motor voter, pass the driver's test, right? You get a driver's license. The person looks, you got a social, you must be a citizen. That's how they pack the rolls. By the way, those guys don't pay taxes anyway. It's taken out by companies. Our government's been sitting on $1.7 trillion slush fund that one fund has still in it to this day. So if you want to know where the dark money comes from. By the way, that's what, $100 million in a month in interest. I could go on. I now understand this is why they tried to kill us. And it's not stuff I wanted to know. It's not stuff I wanted to know about my country. It's not stuff I believed. But we have a uniparty. We don't have multiple parties. Everybody's benefited from this at one time or another.
Coming from the tongue of the white man, a uniparty, meaning two wings of the very same bird. Babylon is fallen. Babylon is fallen. Let it fall. And let us rise. Can you dig it? Oh, real quick, Iron Malt, thank you for the CashApp donation. I appreciate that. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be up on you and yours. I think that is the only one I see. Yes. So Iron Malt, shout out to you. Salute. And let me see. I see some folks coming in the house. Shout out our good sister, Nichelle Hargrave. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in this evening. Salute to you, my good sister. Black first. D. Foster off up in the house. Salute to you, my good brother, D. Foster. See if I missed anybody in here. You say tortilla thugs? Oh, oh Lord! I'm just scrolling through the chat, making sure I ain't missed nobody. Tortilla thugs. Oh man, yes indeed. Oh, Black First Coffee, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Hey, what's going on? Blackjack 21. Got my brother Eastsiders in the house. Salute to you, my good brother. Black First as always. And man. Thugs indeed. That is a good one. Oh my Lord. So with that being said, family, we started off with the celebration of my own particular lineage here in America. On one side of the family being see what we have here within just being here in America, our ancestry here in America, our foundation here in America that we can literally connect to. We should never let them try to sever that tie, because it's a much more richer history and definitely a much greater story. So it should be told by us in the first place. So I understand there's other folks that may disagree with what we say, but we understand that the way of the Sambo, the way of the coon, it doesn't have a long shelf life unless you're Jim Clyburn. However, Jim Clyburn serves his purpose. But we'll see. Even he's worried and concerned. But he knows he's old. And so, time is, Jim Clyburn going to be one to die in his seat too, just like John Lewis and Elijah Cummings. These folks are going to die in their positions. You understand? They will die with the job. But we are not bound to die with them. That's the Moses generation. We are the Joshua generation. We are the one here that is meant to go to the promised land, meant to see something different, meant to be great in our own greatness without having to worry about the oppression of the oppressor and the undercutting of a tether, and having our family units back together. For all of you who think that shouldn't be one of the top priorities for us, and you think that we shouldn't be celebrating our history, our ancestors, our heritage, our lineage in this country, well, this is Foundational Black American History Month, and this is the Foundational Black American History Month celebration. So if you don't like it, well, I can speak for myself. beatzillapdx official, beatzillapdx official show. Pretty sure I speak for those of you in the chat, the grassroots, and the voices of New Black Media when I say that we proudly, very, very proudly dedicate this song to you.
Get up off of that cocaine and get up off of that crack. Get yourself together and get your mind back.
Hashtag hands off our reparations.
You have no rights here. We're not under the empire.
Family, you can follow me at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at beatzillapdx. You can email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And if you feel so inclined to put some money in the bucket by way of donation, you could definitely do that at CashApp $beatzillapdx. That's CashApp $beatzillapdx. And we also have PayPal, which is Zilla Music. That is ZILLAMUZ, aka at PayPal. And with that being said, we are about out of here. You understand? And it's been good being back. 2 broadcasts this week, and it's been everything's been broke up. So yeah, kind of good to be back. We got decent, normal, somewhat weather, so can't be mad at that. So glad that to have all of the family in the house. Thank y'all for tuning in this evening. Y'all keep y'all 3 smooth stones at the ready and keep that slingshot nearby. You stay black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first, black first, black first. Shalom, y'all.
When you know who Satan is, yes, sir, you don't have to kill him. No. The stone of truth. Yes. See, that's what you throw. Yes, right. Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knock out its brains. Every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan, who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man, and you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.
Yeah.